Well, g'day everyone, it's NQ Explorers again. Welcome to another field trip. Today we're in a ghost town. It's a mining ghost town in far north Queensland that was established in the late 1800s. And what was mined here was wolfram, which is used for hardening steel, tungsten. And the mine opened in the 1880s, early 1890s. And the town grew around this. That's the old main street. You can see it down there where the Land Rover's parked. There was a line of shops and stores along the other side. And there were some meeting halls and barber shops on this side and hotels, of course, a couple of big hotels. The town really boomed during the First World War because the demand for tungsten, or wolfram, was enormous, and all of it got dug out of these hills you can see here and went to the Western Front in Europe, which is pretty amazing. But after the First World War, the prices of wolfram / tungsten plummeted, and the town sort of slowly died. It lingered onto the Second World War with sporadic mining, and actually with the current prices of minerals, the wolfram mine has reopened actually. It has an open cut, and a lot of it's used. It's exported to China, I believe, for steel, hardening steel. But anyway, we're going to have a hunt round here, down along around that old shops, and there's a creek down there behind the shops. It's always a difficult site to hunt this. Often the grass is long, but there is so much trash here, like tin type trash from the old days, not modern trash. And that other side of the road there's literally covered in tin trash. But if you go low and slow, you can pick the keepers out of the trash. Can be try your patience a bit, but we'll have a go at it again today and see what we come up with. So thanks for watching the video, and we'll see what we get out of the old place. Well, I just thought I might show you wolfram as it comes out of the ground here. This is the native rock it comes from. It's a granite type material, and there's the wolfram there. So that's the ore that they mine and crush up at the plant, and have been doing for well over 120 years. Okay. Okay, here Mrs. NQ with the AT Pro. She's getting an 83 to 85 signal. There's an old brick just there, and an old stump of a building, so this could be a really good target. We'll have a bit of a dig and see what comes out. Okay, here's the first significant find of the day, Mrs. NQ find, of course. It's a machinery tag off a boiler by the look of it. It says machinery inspection, certified pressure 80 pounds per square inch, and it dated 28th of July 1916, 28/7/16. So it's nice to find a dated item like that. It's brass. That'll be off a probably a boiler or something like that. I'll clean it up properly and see what else is written on there. There may be a maker's name. Oh yes, there is by the look of it. Something Henderson, Chief Inspector. Oh, that's interesting. Might actually look that up and see if we can identify that individual. It says the Inspection of Machinery Act 1915, and it's dated 1916. But anyway, that's a good find. Okay, on we go. Okay, where we are now is behind the line of the shops in the main street. Where the Land Rover's parked there is the, it's just an old dirt track now. That's where the main street used to be. There's a line of shops along here, and a big picture show or cinema down to the right. A couple of little coffee shops and grocery stores, and the post office off to the left. And on the other side there was a couple of halls, meeting halls, and a tennis court, and the school over there to the left. So we'll have a look at those later, but we're just hunting in this area behind the shops. Great, there's always been a lot of trash on this site, but it's always rewarding if you go low and slow and pick something out of the rubbish, like that nice machinery tag Mrs. NQ just got. So we'll just keep hunting around here, and we'll head down to the creek behind us, where the theory is that everyone's been swimming there in the hot weather in the old days, and it's dry at the moment, so it'd be a good time to run the detector down the creek bed. There's another Mrs. NQ discovery. It's a scrub turkey's mound. These things can be years and years old, sometimes decades old. The birds just keep coming back each year and adding more to it at the same time each year, and they incubate the nests in the mound there just through simple sun convection. But I haven't seen any turkeys around, so they might have left this one for this year. I'm not sure when they actually nest, but it's quite a mound, that one, fairly old. And as you can see, we're in fairly spectacular country here, very hilly country. And the theory that the creek was dry turns out to be wrong. As usual, it's a big. There's been a couple of storms here lately, so the wet season hasn't started as yet, but properly. But there's been a couple of storms, and I guess that's managed to feed the creek, and this beautiful billabong's filled up with water. So anyway, we won't be detecting in the bed of the creek by the look of it. It's oh, it's beautiful. Bit of fresh water there. It's actually running. So we'll just stay up on the banks here in the shade and poke along here and see what we can find. There could be anything washed down here in the floods, or the kids have been down there swimming 100 years ago. Who knows? And actually up on the other side there, where that you can see that rock face, there's a series of houses that used to be up over there. Old those little miners' huts, but that's always worth a visit over there. Well, there's my first little relic for today. I think it's a little gas tap, or maybe a little hot water valve or something, but nice solid brass casting, but I think it could be gas. I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything written on it, but if there is, I'll subtitle on the video. Okay, on we go. Well, we're just going to try our luck around the bakery here. You can see the remains of the old baker's oven. Just down the back of the bakery. Would have been nice hot pies and sausage rolls and vanilla slices. Yum. Not anymore though. And that's the front of the street's just up there. And so the would have been like a residence at the back, probably where the baker lived. And that's all that's left of the foundations for the bakery oven. Well, not far from that bakery ruins, Mrs. NQ's come up with a fabulous Miller lock. I think that's one of those old Miller push key locks. It hasn't got a number on it, but this is similar to one I found in one of the old railway towns. The front of it, lovely solid item. That'll date from the 1890s or the early 1900s. Good one. Well, this one's just a mid-tone, but it's just come out of the hole. Give you an idea what that sounds like. Well, the coil's very close to it there, but it's punching up to about an 8 on the GTI. It looks like it's some sort of little badge. It's fairly deep, maybe an old legacy badge or something, but I'll clean that and I'll get a close-up on it. The pin, as you can see, is bent on the back there. Okay, we'll be back in a sec with this one. Well, this little badge is a ripper. It's got a lovely pattern on the front. I haven't cleaned it properly yet. I'll do it properly and put a still photograph in the video. It appears to be hallmarked there. I'm pretty confident that's going to be sterling silver. I'm not sure what that design is yet, but once I clean it, I don't want to scratch it or anything out here in the bush, so I'll wait till I get home and give it a good clean, and we'll still photograph it and subtitle any information on it. Well, that's a ripper, that one. Might hit silver there. Well, here's the next Mrs. NQ find. Looks like a lovely old relic, or maybe costume jewellery's come out of about a 4-inch hole here. Easy digging, luckily, because of that storm last night. It's made it the ground very moist. Or is this a buckle of some sort? Oh, that's lovely. Look at that. It's a heart medallion of some kind. Quite an intricate design. That could be like I would say that's a 19th century costume piece, or it could be a woman's, how about it's a woman's belt, for a thin belt for a woman's skirt or dress. Anyway, we'll clean that one and put it on a still photograph. But that's a lovely old relic, that. Beautiful. Got this lovely old handle, possibly off a well, off a fork probably, or a spoon. It is hallmarked. Maybe just electroplate, but I'm not sure. That looks quite old, given the shape of that. It could be 19th century. I think it does say something there. It may not actually be hallmarked. Probably electroplate. Anyway, I'll subtitle any information on that one. Make sure you fill our holes back in. I mean, even it's not a park obviously, but even it's especially just as much in the bush, it's just as important when you're prospecting for gold or relics like this in old towns. Should be no trace of you ever being there, so just make sure you fill in your holes. We don't come across too many open holes. People are generally pretty good. Well, I'm back at the scrub turkeys mound, and the turkeys in situ. Look, he's actually building the mound. You see, or she or he, scratching up the leaf litter and throwing up behind her onto the mound, doing a bit of housekeeping. I'll check if that's a male or a female, but it's probably a female, I would imagine. You've got a lovely bright red head with a yellow collar. Well, Mrs. NQ's just called out. She's found a coin down near the creek here. We'll just go and see what she's picked up. Sounds like she's got a penny down here, so could be an old one. Okay, well, she's got a penny. on the AT Pro. It's 75 on the AT Pro. It's not presenting perpendicular to the core, but yep, high 70s anyway. And that's in Pro Audio mode there. Okay, we'll pick him up and have a look, see what it is. That's in normal mode. Well, there's that penny. It's a beauty. It's a 1899 Victorian penny, veiled head Victoria. So look at the condition of that coin. 114 years old. It shows you how well preserved these coins in these semi-arid areas of Australia. I mean, this is the tropics and we get big wet seasons, but most of the time it's quite dry. Compared to what you blokes in the UK dig up of a coin of that age, this is just like new. It's beautiful. Okay, I'll give it a clean and we'll put it up on a subtitle. Well, Mrs. Enke's onto something here with this area where she just got that old 1899 penny. We're down behind the old picture show, which is just up to our right. So I came down and mooched on the territory, as you do. And I've got a penny, and look at the depth of this coin. That is quite deep. I've just got it in the bottom of the hole there. Looks to be another Britannia, quite worn too. So I'll get up on the macro so we can get some focus on that. So that's two old pennies from down behind the picture show. Good one. Well, have a look at that one. That's beautiful. It's an 1885 English penny. Look at that condition. All the rim, the denticles are on the rim. Young head Victoria, it's a bun penny. She's a bit worn, as you'd expect. But this is common to get these Victorian coins in this town because it's quite an old town. Dates back to the sort of the early 1880s. So that's a good one. And the targets are deep down in this creek area because of the silt that's built up over the years. You just got to go low and slow and you pick them up. So that's satisfying. Mrs. NQ got 1899 and I get an 1885. So we'll move on. Mrs. NQ neck find is a lovely old axe head. She's broken, but geez, done some work that thing. That'll be old. We'll take that back and put it in our Victorian axe head collection. Okay, on we go. It's just lovely at this time of the year, the start of the wet season, and these billabongs fill up with water and the creeks start running again. And up here we're at quite a high elevation. We're in the back of the Great Dividing Range. We're at about 650 metres altitude. So there's no saltwater crocodiles up here. We do get the occasional freshwater crocodiles, but they won't hurt you. You get them in these little billabongs and things, but that's just beautiful, lovely fresh water. Well, not far from that penny, I just got a another one of these old machinery tags. This one's dated 28th of July 1916. This one's got a 220 psi. I'll clean it up and we'll see what, yes, it's the same thing. Henderson is the inspector. But well, he obviously came out here and did a bit of inspecting in July 1916. Great to find these dated items. Okay, on we go. Right next to the water hole is this beautiful old gum tree. She's an old one. She's enjoying a bit of a drink after the long dry season. She's got a top spot there right next to the creek. Well, Mrs. NQ just got this lovely old watch relic. It's like a small pocket watch or a large wristwatch. Perhaps it's a woman's pocket watch part. Anyway, that's a nice old relic. Well, that green area up in there, you can see that lovely little meadow-like area up there. As you can see, the remains of a corrugated iron water tank up in there. That's the old post office. But just skirting along the back here, this is a barber shop and a billiards hall. And a bit of a surface find. It's a lovely old jar. I'm pretty sure it's a PEX paste jar. Oh, look at that. It's perfect. Beautiful. That's a keeper. It's not even cracked or damaged. Hey, look. Oh, hang on. It's got something. Yeah, it's PEX. It is. It says PEX on it. No worries. Well, that's a great find. To find it on the surface unbroken. Righto. Well, there are bottles around here. Most of them are broken. There's a couple of bottle dumps and all the rubbish bits are at the back of the row of shops down the back here. So we'll have a scratch around in there, but we haven't found any really complete bottles yet. Well, here's the next Mrs. NQ find. It's a lovely old enamel badge. It's got blue enamel on it. It's got some initials down the bottom, AO something. I won't clean that in the field because that enamel could be a bit brittle. It's quite elaborate. But good strategy she came up with here. She was hunting up and down this overflow drain, which is part of the creek line. So there'd be bits of rubbish in here if you can dig your way through all these cobbles and boulders, which she just did, and she found this little badge. So that was a good move. Well, we just had a bit of lunch at the car, and Mrs. NQ handed me this rather encrusted little metal object. We soaked it in a gold pan for quite a while and managed to clean it up. It just looked like a little lump of metal, but look what it is. It's an absolutely fabulous find. It's a 4 pennyweight brass trade weight. If you can see that on there, 4 DWTS. That is just glorious. It was so heavily encrusted with sand and gravel. I had to soak it for well over an hour. But 4 pennyweights. I'll weigh that when I get home on the little electronic scales. On the back it's got 4 tiny little feet. I guess I can sit on other trade weights. But that's a lovely find, a 4 pennyweight trade weight. Now I've just got a penny in this hole, only about 2 inches down, not far from those other 2 coins we just got. But I just wanted to show you that mid-tone. Given that mid-tone, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a English Britannia penny, or it'll be an Australian, Commonwealth of Australia penny. It's a Britannia penny. Beauty. Okay, well I'll give this a quick clean. Looks once again to be lovely condition there. Quite worn. Oh, it's an Edward the 7th. So it'll be a 1900 something, up to 1910. Good one. But I'll just give a clean and we'll get a date. Yes, that penny's a 1907, Edward the 7th. And that's in pretty good condition really. It's not terribly worn. That's good. Okay, well we're getting, these 3 coins have all been in this one area behind the old picture show. Okay, on we go. Well, not 2 feet from that penny I got this old stirrup, which is a lovely full-size stirrup, that one. Probably dropped his coin as he's riding past. And a stirrup. Well, as I dug that stirrup, Mrs. NQ's yelling in the background, I got a penny. Looks like a nice deep dig here with the AT Pro. Better find it. No Pro pointer today. Get a bad packing. Actually, you notice this area, we're getting a lot of old glass come out at depth. But there's about 3 or 4 inches of river sand on top of it. Well, she's got it there. Oh, I can see the coin there. Another Britannia, English penny. That's quite worn. Can't quite make that out. Oh, it's another Edward, I think. Okay, we'll clean it and we'll get back with the date. Well, we haven't filled a hole in after that excitement. It's a 1903, I think. Edward the 7th English penny. Another glorious coin. That's 4 pennies out of this fairly small area actually. So we'll keep going low and slow in here and see what else we can pick out of the place. Okay, this could be another coin for Mrs. NQ on the AT Pro. She's getting 8081, which is a high reading. Lovely target, very deep these targets here. Well, I'm talking 5 to 6 inches, so for this site that's deep, usually they're mostly just under the surface, but down here on the creek banks, no, it's in the shovel. No, it's not. Oh, she's lost track of it. Looks like it's fallen off the pile.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's the top off something.
Looks like a brass
screw top. Oh yeah, good one. Okay, we're having a bit of fun here. We've sort of found a Victorian / Edwardian penny patch in the old ghost town. Mrs. NQ's just got another penny. Oh, there she is, in the hole. What's the numbers on that one? 75, 76. That's in standard mode, not Pro Audio. Okay, I've got a bit of a theory about why these coins are in this area. I think it's a bit of a choke point. Another beautiful old English penny. Looks to be 1900, is it? That might be a Veiled Head Victoria. Okay, we'll give that a clean and we'll be back with the date. Well, that last coin was a 1900 Victorian English penny. Have a look at the patina on that coin. That is just beautiful. There's a Veiled Head, Old Head Victoria there. Beautiful. Okay, well we're going to keep hunting along here, and I've got a bit of a theory why these coins are in this spot. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm in that little patch of Edwardian Victorian pennies. The theory I got here is I know that in the late 1800s, right up until when the town died sort of after World War II, there was a footbridge that crossed this creek there's quite a number of houses on the other side, and there's a race course way off in the distance. So there's a lot of foot traffic crosses this creek here around this point. I'm not sure where the footbridge was exactly, but I believe we're in a choke point now because we're picking up all these coins. That's that big gum tree I was showing you earlier on. There's a good chance that footbridge was in this vicinity down behind the old picture show, and it went across the creek here and onto that little rock shelf. There's some old houses up on the rock shelf. There's some foundations, some concrete foundations up there. Not real good for detecting because it's just bare rock, but I reckon we could be in the vicinity of the footbridge. You can see down there there's an old concrete causeway. That's the road and cart track it would have been originally, but there's a footbridge across the creek somewhere in this vicinity, so maybe that's what we've stumbled across, the choke point for the footbridge. Oh, Mrs. Enkie's running hot. She's got another one in the same area. Here's the hole. Oh, there's the coin. It's another penny by the look of it in the little shovel there. Another Britannia penny. Beauty. Okay, well, we'll clean that one up and we'll see what date's on that one. Okay, there's that last penny of Mrs. Enkie's. It's another Edwardian coin, 1906. Beautiful. Look at that. Lovely patina once again. She's just checking that hole in case there's a second coin in there. You can hear that noise in the background. Here's another top little relic from Mrs. Enkie. It's an old brass sink plug. This would have gone in an enamel sink or a one of those old concrete style laundry sinks. Here's the plug, just pops into there. And it's got the little hole on the top where the chain would have come through. Nice little piece of brass and beautifully machined. It's a nice one. Okay, on we go. Well, it's getting late in the day now, but I was just been hunting around the back. This is one of the old hotels. It's around the back of the, well, it's not really the back of the hotel, it's probably like a side alley area, and it looks like I've got another penny here. It's under this little old bush here. It was another mid-tone, so it could be another Edward or Victoria. We'll clean him up and we'll have a look at it. That's a ripper, that one. This you can see there's old bits of the old corrugated iron roofing still here, and there's a lovely rock blind drain down there. It's been beautifully constructed. Well, this one's a bit encrusted and I can't really clean that in the field. I'll wait till I get home and I'll put a still photograph up with a subtitle date on that. May not be in as good condition as those earlier coins we got, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be an old English penny, given on the mid-tone that I'm getting out of it. Okay, I'll check the holes, just filling in that penny hole. I've got another mid-tone in the mullock, so it could be a second penny by the sound of that. Oh, look, it is. Another penny. It was a two penny drop. Sorry about the light there, she starts to fade on me. Once again, she's heavily encrusted. That is very thin, that one. Okay, well, those two coins I'll put up as a still photo with their dates. So that's a beauty to find two pennies so close to the old footpath, actually, too. Probably a side alley to the hotel. Well, we might wrap it up there. I'm going to go back to camp, have a cold drink and something to eat for dinner. But I hope you've enjoyed that little day out there today. We've got some lovely old relics there and a couple of nice coins, so it's been a really good day out. We've really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Anyway, best of luck on your next trip out. Happy hunting, everybody. Bye for now.